What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Derek D. Wildman, and today I'm going over another game. This is a very quick game, and the title of this game is I'm gonna call it National Masters Make Mistakes Too. This game was played the first round of the 2019 Chicago Open. I got paired with a national master who was pretty much like close to his floor. He came in at 2044, and I ended up beating him in 14 moves. 14 moves. And I'm just doing this game, going over this game. I'm gonna use chess.com interface to go over this game, just to let y'all know that no matter how strong a player is, players make mistakes too. They make mistakes too. So in this game, I had black. I cannot pronounce his name, but I think it's Camgio Marcio. I can't, from New Jersey, national master from New Jersey. The game went e4. I played pawn c5. He went knight f3. Remember, you always want to fight for the center, develop your pieces. I played the accelerated dragon, which is the most aggressive opening against e4. He went knight f3. I went g6, trying to play the hyper-rated accelerated dragon. The plans in the hyper-accelerated dragon is to get this bishop here. Trade off, get castle. It's pretty much an opening play to avoid the Yugoslav attack and get the d5, d7, d5 push in without wasting the tempo with d7, d6. So I played g6. After g6 was played, my opponent went knight c3. Knight c3, my bad, knight c3. I went bishop g7, taking control of this diagonal. Like I said, as you can see, my pawns on c5 and my bishop on g7 is like locking down, aiming for the d4 square. So like you said, my plan is just like everybody else playing, just develop my pieces. We're still in the open phase of the game. I went bishop g7. He went pawn h2 to h4, which was a kind of intriguing move, and it kind of threw me off because when he played this move, I started getting concepts of maybe he was probably going to play bishop c4 here, probably move the queen to e2, play d3, bring this bishop to e3, and castle queen side, and just walk this pawn out, and still with the typical Yugoslav attack. So after h4, I came up and I kind of got this idea from one of my close homeboys, James Canny, and he told me this. He said, when this pawn is played, this square becomes weak. This h5 square, this g4 square is weak. So I played pawn h5, and this square belongs to me, and it kind of looks like giving up a square to get a square. So I know I can put a knight on this g4 square, and that was the plan I came with, and it could just post and stay there. So after h4, h5, he went bishop c4. Bishop c4, I went knight c6. Remember, look at my pieces. d4, this knight's attacking d4, and this bishop all got control of the d4 square. So that's kind of like slowing white down if you want to fight for the center and play pawn d4. So after I went knight c6, my opponent played a3. This was another strange move I didn't understand. And I tend to tell all my students, if your opponent doesn't understand what's going on or playing something weird, just stick to your normal, chess sense. Develop your pieces, get castle, fight for the center. So after a3, I played pawn d6, opening up, the diagonal for the bishop. d6, he went knight d5. This was another strange move to me. I didn't understand the concept of knight d5, but then I thought about maybe knight d5, him playing c3 and then d4, fight for the center. I could have kicked him out with pawn e6, but I didn't want to block my bishop here. So after knight d5, I developed my bishop to g4, putting a pin on this piece, and maybe even dropping my knight to d4, putting pressure on the f3 square, and doubling up these pawns. So after knight bishop g4, my opponent played knight e3, immediately attacking my bishop on g4. I didn't want to move my bishop back. You try not in chess to retreat your pieces or have them going back, and I just wanted to, I didn't want to waste the tempo. So after knight e3, I immediately played knight f6. He went d3. After d3, I castled. Remember, fight for the center, fought for the center, developed all my pieces, and I got castled. That's what you're going to hear me say a lot in a lot of my videos. So I've accomplished my plan. And then you look at white, he's He's not castled. Bishop on c1, rook here. He's not castled. And then if he castles, he chooses the castle king side. h4 is weak. h2 is weak. So I kind of like my position. I was pretty much comfortable, you know, in the situation. So after I castled, my opponent played knight g4, and I took right here knight xg4 with the knight. And this is a very, very strong knight. This is a very, very strong knight. Knight on g4, it cannot be hit by no pieces. I mean, if he want to kick this knight off, it's going to take him 2 moves. He has to move this knight and then play f2, f3. So that's a strong, strong, strong knight. So after knight g4, knight g4, my opponent played knight h2. I guess he realized this knight is too strong and he wants to trade. You know what I'm saying? He wants to get this knight off this square. So after knight h2, I played knight ce5, just supporting my knight, and if he trades this knight off, puts another knight there. After knight ce5, I'm also attacking the bishop. He went bishop b3. After bishop b3, I put the queen on b6, and I had a plan. Look at this diagonal my queen on. Look at the diagonal my queen on. Look at this knight protecting this knight, and then look at this tactical shot of me playing c5, c4, setting this up. So this was my goal. And my this is my goal and my plan. I developed all my pieces. He's not developed. Excuse me. He's not castled. So I developed all my pieces, and now I'm ready to attack. Like, I'm really, really, really ready to attack. And I tell everybody, once you got all your pieces developed, and your opponent doesn't have his pieces developed, and I got a lead in development, I'm ready to go into another phase of the game, which is the middle game, and my opponent is still in the opening phase. So look at all these threats I have. I have the queen, like you said, the queen on this diagonal with the knight hitting f2. I have a tricky move playing c5, c4, attacking the bishop, threatening checkmate. So what is my opponent going to do? So after queen b6, my opponent plays f4. And after f4, I play c5, c4. And when I play c5, c4, I have the threat of checkmate here, right? If he takes with the bishop takes c4, I play queen f2, game over. If my opponent plays knight g4, I play knight g4. If he still captures this pawn right here, if he captures this pawn, I play queen f2, checkmate. As you can see, my plan worked. And like, this is why I titled the game, How a National Master Can Make a Mistake. So during the game, my opponent didn't look. This is a true story, and this is why I'm doing this video. Even experts make mistakes. My opponent played fxe5, and I checkmated him on queen f2. And I won this game the first round of the 2019 Chicago Open against a national master in 14 moves. But let's go back and take a look at the position from queen b6. After queen b6, he went f4. f4 is a huge mistake in this position and in this opening. After f4, let's just go over some lines. If I play pawn c4, this is where it all starts. Even if my opponent plays d4, blocking off the checkmate threat, as you can see, I still win or have a favorable position. With knight h2, he has to take knight h2. He has to take, I put my knight to g4, attacking the rook h3. I apologize. I can take this, be up a piece, and still win the game, right? Because now I'm up a whole piece, and if he captures back, I can hit d4. Let's go back to another position. After c4, d4 stops the mate. I could take here, cxb3. He cannot capture. If he captures fxe5, I take here, knight xe5. Take bishop, pawn xc2, queen xc2, queen xd4. And even though we're equal, look at all the holes around the king side, and I'm gonna get this pawn. So pretty much after F4 and I got C5 C4 in, the game was completely busted, and there was pretty much nothing my opponent can do. So as we go back, as you go over your games and you want to make improvements to your games, after Queen B6, he pretty much had. I favor my position and the engine favor my position, but F4 is really the move that gave me like all the crushing blows. Maybe probably trading this knight off, and castling could have been played, and we still have a decent game. But this is why I tell y'all, no matter what, the game has to be played, and ratings are just numbers sometimes. National Masters do make mistakes. This is your boy Derek D. Wildman. Hope you enjoyed my game. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. You'll have a blessed day. Always got it saying good vibes, good people. Peace. I'm out.